Hello, and welcome to the Global Luxury Real Estate Mastermind with me, your host, Michael Valdez. Today's guest is somebody who I admire tremendously, a dear, dear friend, Ilaria Profumi. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Michael, and thank you. I'm so excited. Thank you.
I'm excited to have you here.
Yes. I'm excited too.
Yeah, my very first interview of the new year, so it's perfect.
Oh my God.
So, I have had beautiful luck with this wonderful podcast, and Italy is actually one of the top countries that listen in to the show, which I'm so grateful for. And you are a superstar in Italy and throughout Europe with your career. But please, for those that don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about how you got started in real estate?
Of course. In reality, I started in real estate by an accident over more than 16 years ago. I'm a lawyer, as you know, but I've always worked at company level. The company world has always fascinated me a lot because, in my opinion, it gives more opportunity to work on the evolution of people. And structuring companies, seeing the evolves, is what excited me. I was working in Rome as a legal affair manager in a gambling company, so bingo store and slot machine. And at 13 years old, yes, a very strange market. And at 13 years old, I was already in a management position. I left everything to follow in Milan what will later become the father of my children. And remembering that time now makes me smile because I remember that in order to attend a master's degree in finance, he had sold his car, and we live in a house in the old Milan style with a lot of drafts at the door and windows and a very small refrigerator and bathroom. And Michael, yes, every morning I went to the internet point below my house to send my resume and look for a new job. And I had basically decided to leave everything to follow my heart, because I have always believed that life should be lived passionately. And I saw a job AD of ReMax that was looking for a secretary of the back office of franchise development. And I decided to go to the interview because I'm a very curious woman, and I was interested to understand how the business model works in Italy. And joining ReMax, I decided to take many setbacks of my professional career, but now I can say that it was one of the best decisions I made in my life, and a very good gym.
So wait a minute, you're telling me that here you are with a law degree, a very, very educated person, and you're looking for a position, and you end up at ReMax at a very entry-level position as an assistant.
Exactly, but I can tell you that what I learned from my father is that anything comes from nothing, without effort, without passion, without hard job. And so, yes, I decided to make a lot of step back to learn a new job and understand from the bottom the business model of the company. Yes, that's true.
Now, you started at ReMax Italy as an assistant, but you left as the COO of that company, which is extraordinary to me because it's your rise of your talent. And it is exactly what you said, the talent rises to the top with great effort. So I want to hear, and then you grew ReMax Italy to thousands of agents. Tell me how that all happened, because this is a fascinating story.
Michael, I truly believe that giving is sometimes as simple as saying thank you to someone and meaning it. We should all give a little more. So how did I do? I never gave up, even in the years when the market was not doing well. I persevered in pursuing a growth project in which I believe very strongly. I have surrounded myself with the right people because I firmly believe that people always make the difference. And with a strong, united team, we have persevering and repeating a message. So I leave you with 5 words: give, persevere, strongly believe, choose the right people, and repeat the message. And last but not least, great things take time. I am a woman who will like everything right away, probably like you. At least once when I was younger, I was always in a hurry. So by carrying out the great ReMax development project, I've learned to exercise patience. And now, more than ever, as a grown woman, I am aware that an ambition goal can be achieved without haste, but without stopping. And so great things take time, in business even more. So they never come from one person, but from a team of people. Always. And you know, playing the infinite game of business requires an infinite mindset in order to succeed. And also, if I can try to think about it, all companies have a goal they aim to achieve. But how do the most innovative companies blow right past their imagined vision and achieve the unimaginable? Nice. Step by step, make the fastest simple things with the highest probability of success, and relentlessly progress and move on to the next step. So the goal is not, in my opinion, to be perfect by the end, but the goal is to be better today.
God, I love that. And it's, you know, it actually takes me to my next question, and you probably answered a lot of it in what you just said. But the fact of coming in, let's sort of like break this down again. You came into ReMax as an assistant, as the lowest position that was available, because you just wanted a foot in. You didn't even know the real estate industry. You were interested in it. You ended up becoming the chief operating officer, building a company to thousands of agents. So my question to you is, how do you motivate people?
First of all, I believe that there must be a loyal few willing to stand next to us before we can inspire a great many others to follow us. The joy of the leadership, in my opinion, comes from seeing others achieve more than they thought they were capable of. Yes. And I deeply believe that a better leader cares more about others hearing their ideas. A good leader cares more about hearing ideas from others. Yep. And so, in my opinion, trusting is a necessary risk for a leader. If we give people a sense of control and autonomy, we end up with healthier and happier teams. So, we can compare a good leader who then motivates others with the conductor of a jazz orchestra, because in a jazz, it is not so much about following the score to the letter, but about adding your own voice, your own creativity through improvisation. And so great leaders, in the same way, in my opinion, encourage individuals to take risk so as to discover something new.
I love that.
This is my thought. Building trust is an essential practice for everything. And sometimes the most important things to do during one's working weeks is to pick up the phone and call people and say, hey, how are you? That level of empathy, just checking in on someone, you know. And building a sense of trust is the foundation of anyone who wants to be a good leader. Trust 100%. Means first and foremost taking responsibility and making others feel safe.
Yeah, and it's so true, especially now when you start thinking about this world that we're living in, where we're living in a world of a pandemic and people are seeking that safety. And it's a great way to inspire. And I love the analogy of the jazz orchestra, where
Not
you're in
classic jazz.
not classic jazz, because you bring in your own improvisation to what is the part of making beautiful music.
Yeah,
I love that analogy. All right, so now we're living in this new world in our real estate world globally, where it's a new reality for us. But tell me 3 pieces of advice you would give somebody entering the business today. It's a very different business from when you and I started it.
Great question. Yes. First of all, plan the acquisition of strong skills through a perpetual training program. Second one, digitize and delegate all low-value activities. For instance, those other than building a relational asset. Third one, build a reliable personal brand, work on the quality of one's image, communicate regularly with one's target market. And allow me a final closure. You know, I am a romantic woman. Our lives are a DIY project. We build our lives a day at a time, often putting less than our best into the building technique, the foundation, or the structure. Then, with a shock, we realize we have to live in the house we have built. And looking back, we think, if we could do it over, we would have done it much differently, but we cannot go back. You are the carpenter, and every day you hammer a nail, place a board, and erect a wall. Life is a do-it-yourself project, and the choices you make today help build the house you will live in tomorrow.
Wow. That's amazing. And it's so true, isn't it? It is our foundation that we're building. So the choices you make today will determine the house you live in tomorrow.
Exactly.
I love that. So tell me about eXp. How did you find eXp, for those that don't know?
Honestly, and you know, Michael, I can say that eXp found me. Yes, and I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful of the first call that we have 20 years ago, probably. I was in a phase of my life of great redefinition. The pandemic
I think you hung up on me on the first call that I made to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, probably, yes. And
you said, I'm not interested, and you hung up.
Yes, exactly. And, you know, yes. And I told you, I have just 15 minutes, you remember?
I know. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was funny.
Yes, you know, it's funny. It's funny how things change. Yes. The pandemic was allowing me to look inside myself, to be very inside, when before the pandemic, I was a woman who traveled a lot. And so I was very outside. And so I always welcome new things with a very open mind. And on our first call of just 15 minutes, if you remember, I arrived with an open mind, but without any expectation.
Sure.
And yes, probably I told you, I was not looking for a new project. Yes. However.
And then, I don't know if you remember, but for those of you that don't know, Ilaria Profumi is the Regional Manager and Director of EMEIA for eXp, and a key member of my internal team. But when I was reaching out to Ilaria, it was trying to get her leadership into eXp. And I remember the first call, and it was, I appreciate the information, but I'm not interested. And I was like, okay, And then you actually called me back. You texted me
Yes,
and you said,
yes.
there's many people that I've done some research and many people know you. And I said, does that mean you'll have another call with me? You said yes.
Yes. However, yes, after our short call, something clicked in me. My brain started working. I was thinking, if it is true that this company is back at the bottom of the real estate pyramid, taking care of the growth of the agent, that is amazing. And so I started to do some researches, and this is what motivated me to change, to think that I can contribute to the evolution, growth, and improvement of personal and family life condition of many real estate agents around the world.
So Ilaria, you told me how you motivate others. What motivates you?
Well, I'm motivated by being able to make a contribution to people's evolution, whether personal or professional. Knowing that I was somehow able to sow a seed in them that made them blossom. It motivated me to contribute to the evolution and growth of big dreams. That's my big why. So it involves giving in some way.
I love that.
And it's tied to a particular moment of in my life that will be too long to tell now. I can only quote a film that expresses it. Whatever we do or we don't do in life is driven by three major realizations. We desire love, we wishing we had more time, and we fear death. Love, time, and death. So if I had contributed to evolution of even one person, I will have fulfilled my purpose, and I will probably be somehow remembered in the good.
I love that. I love that. Tell me what the greatest lesson you've learned in your career thus far is.
Several lessons that I try to summarize. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And so if you talk about what you believe, you will attract those who believe in what you believe.
Yes.
Why we do something is more important than what we do and how we do it. And Michael, companies these days are barely about products and functionality. In my opinion, it's much more about experiences, connections, and a sense of belonging. It's all about people, and people. It's always about people, and people always make a difference. And if I see great companies don't hire qualified people and motivate them, they hire already motivated people and inspire them. So that's what I learned. We all try to be the leaders we wish we could be. And
that's right.
Yes, there are only two ways to influence human behavior. You can manipulate it or you can inspire it. Another lesson that I learned, always plan for the fact that no plan ever goes according to plan.
That's right.
But it is a wonderful journey.
And the greatest lesson that you learned was don't hang up on Michael Valdez.
Exactly.
Because you'll still come back anyway.
I'm so lucky to meet you and the rest of the team, Michael. Don't joking.
So tell me who has been the most influential person in your life and why?
Okay, this is so simple. The most influential person in my life was my father, who passed away in 2012, too young and too suddenly. I was a much loved daughter, And I was so shy as a child. Can you imagine?
Really? Really?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, really. My father came from a very poor family, but with perseverance, study, constant commitment, and fighting for the values he believed in, he managed to turn his fortunes around and have the success he wanted. That taught me respect for the others, the importance of caring, of not being afraid to express my opinion politely, but with the firmness that comes from being true to myself and to my ideas. That taught me that nothing's comes from nothing,
Yeah.
that it takes commitment, perseverance, and hard work to achieve great dreams.
I love that. And that's a great lesson to learn.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful lesson to see how it explains a lot about you too. It explains that you are the visionary because you believe in the success of others, because you saw it as a wonderful example with your father.
That's true. Exactly.
Beautiful. So I have one final question for you, Ilaria. In your book of life, what is this chapter called?
Oh, this chapter is wonderful, Michael, and it's called Age of Awareness. I'm
Ooh,
living
nice.
yes, I'm living my second adulthood, and it is when we have the awareness that the world needs us
Yes.
and what we know. And at the same time, we have accumulated enough substance to have to flourish. In the
Yes.
second adulthood, we have so much energy that if we don't generate, not just children, but businesses, new projects, ideas, we risk stagnation and self-absorption.
I love that. Ilaria, you're such an inspiration. I love you as a person, who you are as a leader, what you do to influence the lives of others in such a better way, including mine. And I am so appreciative of who you are, everything that you do, and to be such a great leader on my team, to really be able to change the lives of people around the world. So thank you for who you are, and thank you for the time today.
Thank you, Michael. I'm grateful for the opportunity you gave me. And, with humility, I go through every day to meet a lot of people, such as inspiring people on eXp network is for me my life.
Mine too. So thank you again. And thank you for all of you for listening. This has been the Global Luxury Real Estate Mastermind with me, your host, Michael Valdez.